Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 3, now in theaters. Now, growing up, I played video games, primarily Nintendo and PlayStation, but I was generally familiar with the game Sonic. I can't really recall like the core story, but I was, for the most part familiar with the main characters being Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and the Eggman. So when they announced these movies, I was definitely excited because this is just a classic character. But, of course, being excited means nervous as well because we see how the transition of video games into movies has gone. Most have not been the greatest, while some have been somewhat decent. And I just remember from the first Sonic movie the backlash it got because they were wanting to change the whole look and feel of Sonic the character with the CGI version of him that everyone was like, nope, we're not gonna go see this, it looks horrible. They stopped that, they reverted it back to what they wanted to do, like to keep it closer to the core look of the character, and that's what we have today. Now, for the first two Sonic movies, I think they're okay. They're, not my favorite by any means, but I do find some enjoyment in them. I think I like the first one a little bit more over the second one. But with the third one coming in, we've now got Shadow coming into play, voiced by Keanu Reeves. Jim Carrey's back as Robotnik. Definitely excited to check this one out. Took the family to see it, and to start this off, I will say Sonic 3, between the three movies, is probably my favorite. So here, this is set up after the events of the second movie. Sonic and his family, they're basically trying to relax and have time together, whereas at some undisclosed military base, we see that some kind of interference is coming in that essentially wakes up Shadow, where he's able to break free and get out of his containment. Now, what I like about bringing in this new character as Shadow that we kind of got as a post-credit scene from the second movie, Shadow's here with a purpose. He's not a bad guy just to be a bad guy. What I appreciate with this movie is they actually put some story behind Shadow so you know why he's so upset. Most of this movie is around, who actually let Shadow out. There's probably some tie-ins with the Knuckles series. That's one I have not watched. So there's probably some clues within this movie that I just didn't pick up on because I didn't see the Knuckles series. One in particular that my wife and I were talking about, but we'll ignore that for now. But the military also leans on what they call Team Sonic, as these are aliens that have superpowers and can go after these kind of other beings. So while they're on vacation, they're basically quickly called up to say, hey, we need you, there's a disturbance, can you go handle it? And this movie, like, the pacing's great. The reason I probably enjoyed this so much is that there is so much more attention around Sonic and these characters, and the action, it just moves pretty quickly. There's usually some of the downfall we see in some of these movies. There's just too much of the, the human element. If you look at like the Godzilla and King Kong movies, not as much monster time as you get with the human time. Whereas in here, we're spending a lot more time with Sonic and these characters, as well as Jim Carrey. He gets a lot more of some character development in this one as well, because family is a big core theme of this. With Robotnik, it's brought up like, what happened to your family? Did you know them? And he was like, essentially, I've been on my own my whole life. I never knew my family. And I wouldn't say this is so much as a spoiler because it is concluded in the trailer, but we do bring in Robotnik's grandfather. So now we have two Robotniks going up against Sonic and his team. So the core of this is, making choices, right? You want to make the right choice to do the right thing, and that's the other core theme around this movie is Sonic making the right choice? Is Shadow making the right choice? Sonic's trying to understand, like, what is Shadow going through? Who is Shadow? Where does he come from? Why is he trying to destroy the world? Of course, bringing in a Robotnik, Sonic and Robotnik are not friends, and they essentially have to team up because, do they want to bring down Shadow, or are they trying to utilize Shadow? So there's a lot of those elements going into this that keep you on your toes. I think this movie finds a great place for keeping kids entertained while keeping the parents entertained. Yes, it's silly. There's jokes that have carried over from the first movie in this. There are some fun sequences with Jim Carrey that made me laugh, and I'm a fan of Jim Carrey, so I appreciate it. There's also a lot of plot holes. It's not the greatest of all movies again, a number of plot holes, but I think with the Sonic movies, they understand what they're going for and what they're trying to do, and you can see like they'll be able to continue this for some time. Pretty good runtime, good character development, a lot of fun action between Sonic and Shadow, a lot of fun moments with Jim Carrey as two versions of Robotnik, multiple post-credit scenes as well, so be sure to stick to the very, very end to get those. And yeah, overall, Sonic, I'm a fan. Check out my rating here. This was made on my iPhone app called Movie Scorecard, so if you have an iPhone, you can go download it. It's free to check out. If you want to use all the features after some time, there is a subscription. So downloading that really helps support me and this channel, so appreciate it. What did you think of Sonic 3? Are you a fan? Between the three movies, what has been your favorite? Are you looking forward to more? What do you think will happen in Sonic 4? Let's talk around in the comments below. Once again, thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.